left. Throws it for Amendola. Touchdown, Patriots! Direct snap to James White. He's in for 2. Throws down the middle for Edelman. Ball's tipped. And Julian diving for it. Edelman has it. Did he make the catch? He did!
That's an unbelievable catch.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. I don't know how the hell he caught it.
Hands it to White. Touchdown, Patriots! Quick throw to Amendola. Reaches across the goal line for a score. It's a tie game in Super Bowl 51. Driving forward. Touchdown!
I can't believe it.
And his comeback in Super Bowl history, led by the greatest quarterback.
How about them Patriots? After winning it all just over a month ago, New England isn't shy in free agency, making lots of moves over the weekend. In multiple trades, they acquired wide receiver Brandon Cooks, defensive end Coney Ely, and tight end Dwayne Allen. They also signed free agent cornerback Stephon Gilmore. Will Kane back with us. Max, what do these moves tell you about New England?
I mean, this is really a question. It's so obvious. Belichick knows that Brady's and his days are numbered, obviously. Since when do the Patriots...
That's what it is.
Of course. Since when did the Patriots load up by trading their highest draft picks for players? When got Tom Brady a burner on the outside.
Okay,
I mean,
that's fair.
that's to open up, that's to open up Edelman and these guys even more. Think about when does Belichick trade his highest available draft picks for the present? You know when?
No, he works the draft.
Right. He usually does the opposite. Right now, he is getting ready for his and Tom Brady's swan song. Now, my belief is that will be this season. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe his belief is he's got another 2 seasons. But the point is, he knows the end is coming, and he is absolutely loading up to win at least one more Super Bowl, because at this moment, they are so clearly the odds-on favorites. But again, he is trading the future for the present. There's a reason for that.
I think what this tells me is that the New England Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl. It's just that simple to me. I'll scour the AFC. Romo going to Houston or Denver ain't going to get it done. The Pittsburgh Steelers and all the holes in their secondary ain't going to cut it. The Baltimore Ravens haven't been relevant for a while. The Cincinnati Bengals are too dysfunctional. Kansas City seems hell-bent on keeping Alex Smith. The Raiders still have questions on the defensive side of the ball. The San Diego Chargers, the only reason they're interested is because they moved to L.A. There's nothing else interesting about them. Nobody in the AFC East is relevant, and the AFC South is even worse. So when you take that into consideration, it's almost by default that the New England Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl, because with Gilmore and the crew, combined with the fact that you still just might keep a Malcolm Butler, what the hell is there to talk about? As far as I'm concerned, that cliff that you're talking about, Tom Brady falling off, this is one of the biggest reasons why there will not be a cliff, Max Kellerman.
Well, let me ask you something.
Hold on. Because he barely has to do anything. All he has to do is show up, throw a little 2-yard pass, get rid of the ball in 1.8 seconds, and watch. I mean, damn, you might be able to throw for
You're not wrong about that.
You're
not wrong about that, but I have a question. I have a question I'll throw out to whoever wants it.
You don't have questions.
You think? Well, I'll let you. You can have the floor. You think that Belichick's not trading his highest draft picks for the present because, I mean, he's doing that because his quarterback's 41, don't you think? I'm asking for a friend.
You're not. It's not
for a friend, Will.
It's not an honest question. You don't have questions, and that's the entire problem with your argument. You argued from conclusion. No one here was the slightest bit surprised at where you ended up on this, because you've been telling us and these fine people here for months that Tom Brady is approaching the cliff and the window is closing.
Look at the evidence.
If we pointed out there's a snowstorm in New England over the next couple of days, Max Kellerman would see that as evidence that the cliff is coming and Tom Brady's window is closing. There is literally not a single piece of evidence on the face of the earth you could not find to lend to this conclusion you have wedded yourself to. This is not evidence that Bill Belichick is cashing his chips because it's just about time to leave the casino. That is not what this is. I'll tell you what it is. You ever met somebody, either of you guys, who you just know, another guy, you know, like, he's better than me?
Yeah, y'all do it with me every day.
No, you killed my punchline.
Y'all kill me every day.
Low-hanging fruit. You can't pick that fruit. That's low-hanging fruit.
That's every day.
That was my next.
You two can have that one. That's too easy.
That's what y'all do.
I like that Max doesn't have questions.
Here's the deal. The Patriots are just better than you. Belichick is better than you. Tom Brady is better than you. And what Belichick has done here is see a market inefficiency. The truth is, outside of Stephon Gilmore, these weren't free agent signings. This isn't a big departure from what the Patriots do. These were trades, and really, really, outside of the one they sent for Cooks, they were just trade backs. They traded back a few spots in the draft for Allen, a few spots back in the draft for Ely, and they still got something back with Cooks. They're still going to have draft picks this year. They simply found a market inefficiency. It's players, as Peter King pointed out, unhappy with their current situation, you can make a cheap trade for. They're just better than you.
Both things are true, by the way.
One thing I got to ask you, because
they're not mutually exclusive.
you were starting to sway me towards your side here, because obviously they usually build through the draft the free agent picks, but Brandon Cooks is 23 years old. So we're talking the future there, not necessarily right now.
Yes, I agree. It's a very good pickup. Bill Belichick will also win the trade.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that he won't win the trade.
But her point is they didn't sign Brandon Marshall for a 2-year run. They got Brandon Cooks, granted his contract.
There's a different kind of receiver.
Yeah.
Cooks fits that offense.
But outside of that, I get where you're coming from.
You can sign Deshaun Jackson for a huge contract.
Yeah.
Or you can trade the draft picks for a guy that doesn't cost as much. You know, that's young and fast. The fact that he's young and he has a future, of course. But when do you see Belichick do that? Usually, at least he's picking up extra draft picks.
I'm not going to let you psychoanalyze this, Max Kellerman. I must confess, I'm very, very impressed with Will's argument about your falling off the cliff point. Because you were trying to wiggle your way through that very, very skillfully, I might add. But you're not getting away with it. That's what I want you to know. I'm very proud of you. It's a rare moment.
You're
usually not capable of doing such a thing.
Let's go.
Bringing up
I'm proud of your green drink.
Well, listen, J.J. Smith, that green smoothie life right here. You know what I'm saying? This is what keeps me in shape.
Didn't Bob Kraft say, I know when Belichick, they're on a timetable. Belichick said he's not going to do this forever.
They said blitz for 6. Why didn't they get a trademark for 7 rings?
Nothing about this suggests they're selling out their future to maximize the next 2 years. What it says is they're learning new ways to build rosters, both for the immediacy and the future. They're just looking for market inefficiencies, and they're
Belichick is also
inefficiency is trades.
Belichick is also the best GM. He's also the best GM, but he's a GM who's giving his coach himself the pieces he needs to win right now, because the quarterback's going to be 41 after the season. So he knows the window is closing.
I must confess, you two were very, very cordial with one another, very calm in your arguments, because it's very, very important that you don't get too emotional. And the fact that you two maintain the coolness, I'm very, very impressed. Way to go. Way to go.
From the doctor,
Well,
the doctor of calm.
Appreciate you. Talk to you this week. If you need help with your brackets, stick around, because Stephen A. is going to tell you who's going to win it all in his final take.